So now I'd like to talk about a little bit about calibration and sensitivity analysis. So the model you see here, it's already calibrated, and that means that I've spent some time before changing the parameters or adjusting the model parameters, not all of them, but a few of them, in order to get results that are similar to the observation. So in order to get the model similar to what's happening in the reality. I would like to show you more or less, or very quickly, how I did it. So what we can do is to change a little bit some of the parameters in order to adjust the flow, the simulated flow to the observed flow. Even if it looked quite good, it can always be improved a little bit. So the first step is always there are so many parameters in Inca that if you just start changing random parameters, you will get lost. So the first step is to identify which parameters are the most sensitive or most influential over the results. How do I do that? Well, I just change one parameter, and I then have a look at the results, and I see if they changed. If the results didn't change at all, the parameter is not influential at all. If the results changed a lot, the parameter is very influential. And how do I see if the results changed? Well, there are two ways. One very simple way is to use the scenario tool. It's not meant for that, but if you run a first run with the calibration, then you change the parameter, you run the scenario, you will have two time series, one in blue, one in green, and you will see if they are different. But sometimes they are, well, it's not really meant to do that. So another way to do that, the best way to do that, is to check the goodness of fit of the model. So I go to what I showed you before, which is view coefficient, and I see if the correlation coefficient of the Nash subgroup coefficient have changed. And in particular, I want to keep an eye on if the coefficients changed for better, that they improved, not they went back. They just, yeah, that's what I want to do. In general, calibration is, what I want is to improve this goodness of fit coefficient. So let's first of all have a reference value. Let's go to view coefficients and then select reach stream number 1 and reach number 5, which is where we have data, and let's write down the value of the Nash subgroup, the NS, which is 0.512. This is our starting value.
Is there any way you could, I don't know, export the results, or do you have to kind of manually, let's say, copy them to Excel to track what one has what error?
To export, what do you mean? To export to
So does it write it somewhere, the results of your calibration, and then you can, let's say, download a file that says, okay, you run the model 100 times and the error was this,
okay,
and this run had the best coefficient?
You have to do it manually every time, and click on result, save result, save the result, import it in Excel, and analyze that. When we do that, normally we, as I told you before, for the automatic calibration, we do it externally with the command line version. So we automatically print out a result file, and with some scripts, you just manage to somehow do that automatically. Okay, let's close the coefficients window, and let's change some parameter. Then you go to edit parameter reach. SSF did last one.
Which one are we doing?
Okay, you got it.
River.
Did you open? Did you?
1.6. We're in reach.
Okay, parameters edit reach, lock reaches, and then go to flow and change it to not 0.4. Let's do again what we wanted to do in the first place.
0.4.
0.4. Okay? And then we run the model.
0.4 or 0.04?
Not 0.4. Not
What we
0.4.
tried to do the
Oh,
first
okay,
time.
yeah.
So we start again.
We're going to get this time.
So now there is no misunderstanding with the scenario run. And, yeah.
Does it tell you anywhere on the output where it's got its? Because that could be quite an easy mistake to make, and then you might.
It is actually. I'm quite surprised because I thought it was calculating on the calibration, not on the scenario. So
I can imagine working a whole day on it and going, bugger!
I have to redo all the steps back. It happens to me many times.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm speaking from experience.
Especially when you're writing, like you're coding your own model and you know it's not working, and then after a day of looking for
Yeah.
an error,